This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling podcast. Oh, man. Betsy.
Marcy.
I'm so excited about our guest today.
I am too. I'm so excited.
I'm such a fan.
She's one of the coolest, nicest people ever.
Absolutely. We won't vamp too much. Everyone's going to be excited when they hear who it is. So
yes.
Or they maybe they looked at the title, I guess, probably.
They probably looked at the title.
Maybe.
But whatever. We're still making it a fun surprise.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we have this person. She's half of Garfunkel Oats, so that's going to narrow it down a lot for people. The voice of Velma, and she will be seen on a Cabinet of Curiosities, Kate Micucci.
Yay! You
guys, hi! Thanks for having me.
Yay!
This is so
all the
much
spooky
fun.
credits.
Yeah. Well, I guess Garfunkel Oats isn't that spooky, but
I would say that there's some things that really push your boundaries in a
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I guess
in a spooky way.
Some of those songs really scare my mom.
Now, since the popularity of TikTok, a lot of your songs have become sounds on TikTok, and are people having their parents react to watching you. I think that's so fun. How's it been being on the other side of it?
You mean just watching those?
Yeah, just having
so sweet.
Yeah.
I think with the loophole, when that chorus hits, they pan to their parents, and I won't say, just in case anyone's listening with their kids, I won't say what it is, but
they should buckle up for the rest of the episode then.
Yeah.
Hi, kids. But no, it's really been fun to watch parents react to those songs. And then also, I think another popular one, we have a song called You, Me, and Steve about dating and your friend always coming along to the date. And I think a lot of the kids these days, they pan to their friend who's also on the date. It's very cute.
I saw a bunch of those with Stranger Things. Because there's a character
the guy's
named
name is Steve,
who is kind of like the third wheel in a relationship, and I was just like, that's so cool, man.
I think that just means we predicted Stranger Things. No, we don't.
I think you did, and you should get a bunch of money for it.
Yeah,
you were.
Who do I talk to at Netflix?
You were ahead of it all.
Right. Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you. I think, Betsy, we talked about doing this so long ago.
A long time ago.
I think a while ago when I did improv with you, where I was telling a story and it involved something kind of supernatural, and you were like,
yes, and I was like, you gotta come on, and you're like, I don't know if that's enough. I was like, it's enough.
And then the more I thought about what other stories I can share, I got plenty for you today.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Look, take this as a compliment, but you seem like someone who I would assume has paranormal stories.
I do take it as a compliment. I appreciate it. But I feel like, I think, I'm sure you guys talk about this, but it's like we're all tapped in certain ways, and more so at certain times in our lives, or, for whatever reason. But yeah, I've had some pretty weird things and fun things happen.
Yeah. So what do you believe in the paranormal, if anything at all?
Yeah.
I think that there's, as far as being like life on other planets, or
all of it.
I mean, there's no way that it's just Earth and us. There's no way.
No way.
But I think as far as I've always wanted to see a ghost. I've never seen a ghost. But I have felt things, and like one time when I was actually with Ricky, we were performing in New Orleans, and we had some time before our show, so we went to Commander's Palace, that restaurant.
Yeah.
And then there's this famous, well, there's so many big famous cemeteries, but there's one right across the street, and we thought, oh, let's go walk around a little bit. And then we got in the car, and I, like, while we were in the cemetery, I had this very sad feeling, and I was like, oh, I guess it's because I'm in a cemetery. But we got in the car, and I couldn't shake this deep, deep sadness. And there was nothing, like, in that day, we were having a great day, and it was very, you know, and I was like, I don't know what happened, but, like, I feel really, really sad. And I carried that with me up until, like, you know, like, I remember being like, we have to do a show, I have to shake this off, and I kind of just kind of bury it down, but, like, I picked up there was something, you know, like, and it's not like I had ever really, it wasn't till later that I realized that this does sometimes happen to people. I hadn't, like, read about it happening, and then there was like, oh, I bet this could happen to me. Like, I think it just sort of did happen, and then I realized that is a thing. But
now,
yeah,
I know it's overused a lot, but do you consider yourself an empath? Like, with your friends and family, that you can pick up on things they're feeling?
I've had some very, very specific psychic times, like dreams, things like that about family members. And then I'll call them and I'll say, hey, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I had this dream, and are you okay? And then it usually every time has been something real.
Wow.
So
Whoa.
and that's, you know, and I can, you know, without getting too specific, I've had some pretty, like, weird ones with family, but with family or people I really, really care about, or also weirdly, like, even just with, like, crushes throughout the years. Like, if I was putting a lot of energy toward a person, even if I didn't want to put that much energy toward a person, I would then have, like, psychic things, you know. I had a crush on this guy, and it was not a great choice, but I was, like, so, like, thinking about him a lot, and I remember going, you know, I think I'm gonna go to this show. And it was, like, a random show, like, I didn't know the people playing at all, no ties to this guy. And then I got there, and I walked, and there was a curtain, you know, basically like a door, but it was a curtain, and I kind of bumped into the curtain, and I bumped into someone, and I opened the curtain, and he's like, oh, sorry, and it was him.
Wow.
And I was like,
and you were like, we're meant to be together.
Even though I don't think I really want to be.
But this means something, doesn't it? Yeah. But no, but you know, I've had some really weird things, like, just, like, knowing I had to, you know, go to a certain place, whether it be, like, traveling home for a reason that I didn't know, or something where it was, like, you know, when it's family members or people I really care about, I can get, I can kind of sometimes know things, but I really think we all can. I think that's not, like, an unusual thing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, also I did brain spotting almost 2 years ago.
What's
that?
It's sort of like, it's retraining your brain if you've had some kind of trauma, and it's through visualization, basically. And I did it deep, like, early pandemic days, so it was over Zoom, and my therapist was on the other, you know, on the Zoom, showing me, okay, stare at a spot, okay, I can see where your eyes are now, move to the left, and, like, she kind of walks you through this thing, and it was really amazing. I was doing it because I had really bad postpartum depression after I had my son, and also he had a very traumatic birth, and so I, like, really had to, like, work on all of that, and before I wouldn't even be able to talk about it. So anyway, I was like, I know I need to focus on this. I need to get healthier about it. So I did brain spotting, which I really recommend. It helped so much. But when I was doing that for the, like, I'd say 2 months that I was going through those, you know, weekly sessions, I was super tapped in. I don't know what was going on, but, like, I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like, I really loved that. I just, like little, just tiny little things, like little coincidences that you could maybe just say were coincidences, but they were happening so often that I'll give you one example. So we live in this house that we had renovated, or we basically restored, and this man had lived here with his wife in the 60s and 70s, and he passed away in the early 80s, and then she lived here until she passed away when she was in her 90s a few years ago. So I wanted to know more about this house and who lived here. It's like I feel like it's got good vibes in here, and I just like, I like to know history of anything. And I had this dream that I went to this seminar at this place across the street from my house that I'd never been to, but it was a seminar on the man that lived here, and so I
amazing.
Yes, and that was the dream that night. Then that day I did my brain spotting session. And then after you do brain spotting, my therapist would say, okay, now I want you to just go for a walk and like kind of just get back into life and like, just like feel the earth and look at the trees and like, okay, I'm here now kind of thing. And so I walked out of the driveway, and then in the area of where my dream was, where there was this like building where you could do it like a seminar to learn about the man that lived in my house, which of course does not exist.
Yes.
There was a woman sitting on a rock, and it was my neighbor who I'd never ever seen ever. And I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Kate. I live up the street right there." And she goes, "Oh, Jean's house." And then she proceeded to talk to me for an hour and tell me all about the people that had lived here.
You got your seminar.
Yeah, I got my seminar. I don't know. I mean,
that is
it was
wild.
Just cool. Like, it wasn't like I just get excited about that kind of thing. It wasn't it. But but again, I don't know. Your listeners might be like, all right, I don't know. I mean, who knows?
I don't think that's a coink-a-dink one bit. I think that's all like happened on purpose for a reason.
Absolutely. Also, if you're listening to this and being that way, like, come on. Come on, guys.
I'm surprised you made it this far.
Thanks for having my back, you guys.
I guess you could be in a car listening with friends or something, but like, chill out, guys. Be open.
Yeah, come on.
Oh.
Whoa.
So, I mean, I don't know. I guess I do believe in something out there. I don't know what it is, but I love tapping into it when I do. But
yeah. And have you always been, because you like, something's going on with you. In a cool, in a great way, and you embracing it, and it's really cool. Has it always been like this for you? Like,
I've had a couple.
As a kid,
I mean, I can remember one when I was 7, and I was at Easter egg, like a contest, and like it was.
You found all the eggs. Like, I know where every single one of them is. Yeah.
Everyone was like, how did you do that? No, it wasn't that. It was, they were doing a raffle at the end of like the Easter celebration at our school. And there was one really cool like basket that had a lot of goodies in it. And I had my eye on that basket the whole time. But, it was just a raffle. And then when it came to be, and I remember I had a green egg and in it was a number. And if they called your number, and I remember feeling a little bit dizzy and my ear really ringing, and I thought, this is gonna be me.
What?
And it was a big, it was like the whole school. It was the elementary school. So and it was, and I got it. And I mean, again, this could have been total coincidence that my ear was ringing and I got dizzy, but I just had this feeling of like, I know it's me. And I won it.
Whoa.
But again, I don't know. I wish I could harness this for other reasons in my life.
Well, it could be willing it to happen, or feeling that it's going to, like running into your crush or winning the Easter egg. Like
one in the same.
Who knows?
Really? No.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any like rituals that you do to either like harness it or to kind of like be like, I don't want to, like in the instance of you feeling that sadness? Was there anything you did to be like, how do I shake this off? Or
that's the only when I went to the cemetery, and got attached to a friend of somehow that I said something
sad friend.
That's the only time that I can recall being very conscious that like something. So I don't know that hasn't happened again. I guess if it were to happen again, I'd be a little bit more aware and try to do something. But I don't know. But I think. I don't really have any. I guess it's very few. I know I've just like told you a bunch of the different little instances of things, but it's not like an everyday occurrence, so it's not like something where I'm I know that there are some people that it's like a burden on them sometimes because they're like hearing things or seeing things, and
like, I can't go to the grocery store, man. Too many people's ancestors want to talk to me.
Poor Teresa Caputo. She can't go to the butcher store.
She's Teresa Caputo.
She's always getting bothered by people. I ask it because when I lived in New York, I would often experience what I call swooning spells. Like I would become so overwhelmed, and like I had like blood work done. I was like, is this diabetes? Is this, and like they found that I was like a little anemic, but I would like be on public transportation or like in a crowd, and I don't think I have experienced anxiety attacks, but it almost felt like a full like zapping of my energy, and then like a psychic was like, oh, you're an empath, you're picking up on other people. And I could literally, like, I had a coworker sit next to me and my chest just started hurting, and I was like, Jeff, are you okay? Should you go for a walk? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I could just feel it off of him. But once someone said, those are not your emotions, you're picking up on someone else's, then it like helped me to sort through them, because I used to just be like, I'm so moody.
Why am I feeling this?
I could just start be like in a great mood, then all of a sudden be like so upset or so sad, and then learning, I was like, this isn't all, like, ask yourself, is this you or is this something else? And it was really helpful. And then getting on antidepressants really helps a lot too, guys. But
that helps a lot,
But even the idea of being aware of like you were aware, like something's attached, it's not me, because it feels so sudden.
Well, at first I thought it was me. I was like, what happened? Like, why am I like, is this like a memory of some kind that I had, and then I realized, like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes in, I was like, wait, we were just at a cemetery. And one that's like supposed to be kind of like extra spooky or something. But I didn't know with that one scenario at first that wasn't me. But I would imagine, like you're saying, if you pick up on people's feelings, that's exhausting, really tiring, and confusing,
and figuring out how to like protect yourself from that stuff. And like I feel like I've had people tell me, like, that's one of those things that psychics will be like, take an Epsom salt bath, which is funny because like our moms have been doing that kind of stuff, like like this is not a new thing, but to be like, oh, there is something about drawing something out from you and just letting it go down the drain. I'm really big on cord cutting in the shower.
What's that?
I imagine with specific, let's say, connections to maybe people, could be events, whatever.
Okay.
But sometimes I'll just imagine like a cord coming from my head. Sometimes it's a string. Sometimes it's like spidery web. Sometimes it's thick, whatever, depending on how much it's like affecting me. I imagine it coming from my head to wherever they are, or the thing is. And I cut the cord, and then I imagine all the negative energies or any kind of
washing away.
And you can even do it with people that you love and want to stay connected to, but just to be like, I'd like to start fresh today.
That's so nice.
Yeah, to be like, I'm just going to imagine it. And literally once I was very much plagued by a person who like came from the past and brought up a bunch of stuff. And I was like, ugh, I don't want this. And I literally said out loud, I'm removing our connection. And then I felt so much better immediately, because I was like,
whoa.
Not to be too woo-woo, guys, but I was like, I feel like this person is sort of like trying to attach to me and like take something from me. Not because they were bad, but because they like felt bad about what they had done,
And to then go the non-woo-woo way, the more of my therapist way of like, you just recognizing it is so gigantic that you're then able to move on once you're like, oh, this is what's fucking getting me.
Yeah.
And saying it out loud is so big.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've heard about the cord cutting thing, and I remember I had a roommate's mom tell me once I needed to cut cords, and I didn't quite understand. And she said, go out in the backyard, and I want to watch you cut the cords to, I think it was maybe a different, or maybe the same crush. I don't know. I sound like
this
a
guy
crazy.
Was really bugging you.
But I remember wanting to make my roommate's mom feel okay about like okay. So I like kind of like one eye on the mom, just kind of like walked out to the backyard, and I was like with like scissors in my hands, like cutting. Okay, because I didn't understand what that is, but you just explained it so well, and I love that. I'm going to use that.
How funny to just so boldly be like, you got to go cut some cords to somebody where it's like, you have to explain what that is.
Also, I got to say that with all these things, and I've said a million times on the podcast, imagine that any of these rituals or spells are like making eggs. You can make eggs a lot of ways.
Yep.
A lot of ways. There's so many ways you can make eggs if you want. You can make an omelet, you can make scrambled, you can make over easy, whatever.
That's the one for me.
You could microwave it. That's weird, but I've done it before. Whatever. However you need to make the eggs, make the eggs. And however you need to like remove attachments or to like shield yourself, protect yourself, or to kind of like give yourself a little insulation, that works. It doesn't matter. Whatever you think works.
I as far as the protection insulation thing, I have done this. I had a different therapist tell me, we're really going there today, to just imagine I'm zipping myself up in a bubble. And because I was working in an environment that was pretty tough, a lot of personalities, a lot of anger and craziness happening all at once, and it was just a tough place to go every day. And so she said, imagine that you are zipping yourself up in a bubble and you wear that bubble, for as long as you're at work, and then when you get in your car, unzip the bubble, take it all off, and then you're okay and you're you again. And I was like, oh, so I would do that, and that was actually really helpful.
That's so nice.
But
to remember,
I can't imagine you working at a place where people are mean.
My god,
that sucks?
Was it Pizza Hut?
No, it wasn't. But I do love the book it system at Pizza Hut.
Remember, I would like blast through like. I'd be in like 5th grade and be reading like kindergarten books and be like, Mom, I got all my books, let's go. Like, I love that so much.
Now, this is sort of like a bit of an overlap, but a friend recently was like, do you remember the Pizza Hut in our hometown? And I was like, yeah, the one with all the witches worked at. She's like, how did you know they were witches working there? I was like, oh, that's what we all knew. We all knew that it was witches working at the Pizza Hut. It was like a bunch of witches.
I want to see that movie. Like, witches working at a Pizza Hut is such a cool...
Everyone listening, shut up. We're writing it, and none of you.
I'm not calling it Mystic Pizza. I just realized.
Was that about witches? I've never seen that.
It's about a bunch of cool girls in a town working at a pizza shop.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Ooh, okay.
I think some of them were going to lose their virginity in an empty house by the water. Possibly.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, all right.
Babies, the as the babysitter with it's a little dramatic. No.
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta watch Mystic Pizza.
I think it was like Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts, right?
And it's really, really good acting. Everybody is so good in it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Nothing paranormal though.
Just called Mystic. I think they're in the town of Mystic or something. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah,
honestly,
okay.
When Stranger Things wraps up, I think our Pizza Hut thing can edge right into that space.
I think you're right.
Can we call this movie Mystic Pizza
Witch
2?
Mystic Pizza. I mean, look, they wrongly named their movie. That doesn't mean we all have to suffer.
Exactly.
Right. We'll give them what the people really want, which is working at Pizza Hut.
We could call it Pizza Mystic, I guess.
Oh, that's good. That does work.
Pizza Mystic. All these witches.
How did you know they were witches? I'm just curious.
I just remember all the kids talking about the witches that worked there, and I can so specifically remember the type of they drove. Like, one of them drove one of those little tiny Ford trucks. You know, like you know what I'm talking about? It was.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was like teal green, and it had like a frog with a peace sign above her sticker.
What a witch! What a witch! A frog with a peace sign.
But it was funny. She was like, "How did you know?" I was like, "Everyone knew about them witches."
Wow, that's fun.
I love that.
That's so fun.
Make great pizza.
I love Pizza Hut.
God bless them, right?
God
you know
bless
what my favorite
Pizza
thing
Hut.
about Pizza Hut, when I would go, my grandpa would take me to the buffet. My favorite thing was the chocolate pudding.
Oh yeah.
Yum.
Yeah, I know it sounds like a funny thing, but it was really good. And I think that most Pizza Huts had a chocolate pudding, but it's like a weird dessert for a pizza place.
Now, this is so unparanormal. Did you guys have a Mr. Gaddy's? Is Mr. Gaddy's a regional thing that Okay, it was like a Mr. Gaddy's Playland. I guess it was like similar to like a Cece's pizza or like any of those like buffet pizzas where there's like a ton of different kinds. but there was also like an arcade there.
That sounds fun.
Fun.
It was pretty fun, Mr. Gaddy's.
I've never heard of Mr. Gaddy's. I missed out. Oh, should I tell my house? I think I'll tell you the story that led Betsy to say that I should do this podcast. Okay. Should I do that?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so a few years ago, and again, it's interesting. I'm just realizing this is sort of tying in with New Orleans, which I do think is a very haunted, magical town. I love New Orleans so much.
Big time.
But I was shooting a movie in New Orleans, and my now husband, we were looking for a house, and we were looking for like kind of a specific kind of like 1960s house, and
cool.
This one popped up in Silver Lake, and he went and looked at it and was like, this is a great cool spot, like I think you're gonna really like it. And I was working, and he said I think it's gonna go fast, but I was coming home for like a few days, and he said, you should check it out. So I flew home as soon as I could, and because I really was like, oh, I think this could be the house. It's really neat. And I flew home, and my friend Allie picked me up from the airport, and we went from New Orleans straight to this house in Silver Lake. And I walk in, and it's got the cool like kind of Brady Bunch stairs, but it's like a split level, like super cool, and like plants, or actually planters, no plants at the time, but like I saw the potential, and a lot of wood paneling, and I was like, this is gonna be so sweet. And I'm walking around and thinking like, oh, this is such a cool spot, a cool neighborhood. And I was like, I feel like the person who lived here was really creative. And this was after like touring the house, and the realtor said, yeah, like he did art, and he was a creative man. I was like, oh wow, so cool. And then I was like, did he die in the house? And they're supposed to disclose that. And I saw the look on the guy's face, and he was like, yeah, he did. And I said, what, was he murdered in the house? I had this thing come over me that I just like knew it, and the man was like, your husband didn't want me to tell you that part, but yeah, he was murdered. And my friend Allie was like, oh my god, like she's like spinning, like what the heck? And I was like, wow, like that's so weird that I kind of felt it, and I
yes.
And then so I was like, oh, that's so sad. And it turns out it had been like I remembered actually in the news and when that happened actually, and I don't want to like give too many details. Not that it would matter. Nobody's going to go like look at this house or whatever.
And you don't live there,
I don't
right?
live. Well, yes, I don't. We didn't end up moving there. And so, but I felt like I still like kind of like spent some time there, and I kind of just like was like feeling it. I was just feeling the sadness for some reason. And I walked into the garage, which was like kind of by myself because there were other people looking. It was like an open house at that time. So I just wanted to like be by myself for a second. I'm in the garage, and I just started talking. And I said, I'm really sorry that happened to you, and your house is really nice. And I just started talking to the man. I don't know. I was like, you have a beautiful house, and I'm so sad that this happened to you. And and then I felt this sharp pain through my stomach. And it freaked me out. And so then I kind of was like, okay. And like I walked back to my friend, and I was like, I think we got to go. I was like, I just like had the weirdest thing happen. And the realtor guy was there, and I said I felt like a really sharp pain through my stomach, and he said he was shot in the stomach. And I was like, whoa. And then we got in the car, and I was like, okay. And then my husband called, and he was like, did you like the house? And I was like, the murder house? But the truth is, it is a beautiful, like, it did have really good energy, and like I felt like even though I was picking up on that, I think it was like really loved, and like I'm sure someone is very happy in that house now. But yeah, I didn't want to move there after that.
What a great way to like drive down the price though. To be like, ugh, murder house, very I can feel how he got murdered, can't you guys? And then be like, I don't want to live in the murder house.
Isn't that wild? It was like just a weird I kind of tapped into something, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's so wild that you got a pain in your like, Kate,
I know.
Something's up with you.
Also, to be like, oh, I've never seen a ghost. It's like, well, that's a little more intense to feel how a ghost got killed.
True. True. I mean, I was talking to just the spirit of the room and the man. Like I didn't see him or anything. But yeah, I feel like that was a pretty weird one for sure.
Yeah, that's wild. I feel like if I ever get the chance to buy a house, you're coming with me to make sure it's not a murder
I would
house.
love to go with you anyway, just because we would have fun looking at houses.
We would have a blast. Maybe we should go, even though I'm nowhere near being able to get one. And just have fun looking.
I want to be involved too.
Let's do it.
Well, I guess there is a show called Ghost Hunters and House Hunters, but like, could we like mix that? I'm just another pitch on something.
There was a show. I want to say it was on like the Roku channel. And it was about renovating murder houses.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, where they were like, a bunch of bodies were in this yard. So we're going to put up a gazebo.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Yeah. I once went to I got asked to perform at a party that was at the house where the Manson murders had happened, but that house is no longer there, but the house was built on top of it.
Right.
But that was the biggest house I've ever seen in my life. It felt like I was in a hotel, and it had like shark tanks in it, like with sharks.
With sharks?
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
But the weirdest thing is that like, it must have been in some way a party house. But when you tagged the location, it said Charlie Manson murder house or something, and I was like, that feels so wrong. Like why would you keep that there for how does Instagram know?
Right.
What is that? I don't know how that happened, but
also,
yeah,
I think sleeping in a house with sharks is very scary to me.
They might come out and get you.
Too scary.
What if there was an earthquake and then all those sharks are swimming around your house and they get your toes while you're sleeping because you hung them off the side of your bed? Ugh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Also, sharks belong in the ocean, just frankly. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I don't even think they should swim up into rivers anymore.
Yeah.
I'd say no.
Sharks belong in the ocean, and humans do not belong in the ocean.
All sharks got that note.
Yeah, no more rivers. No more rivers.
No, you bull sharks swimming up. That's what Jaws is based on. Like the
Right.
the bull sharks swimming up the river because they
were just eating people left and right.
Just chomping on little boys' legs anywhere they could find them. Yep.
This is a total just random thought, but have you been to the museum, the Academy Museum? Because they have one of the sharks from Jaws there.
I haven't yet. I really want to go. I hear it's
really
awesome.
great for anybody visiting Los Angeles. I recommend it. And or if you live in Los Angeles, go check it out. It's just all movie memorabilia, but I was amazed at how big the fake shark was. It's pretty huge. Yeah.
Whoa, that's
Bruce?
Marcy,
Was his name?
let's go.
Was his
I
name
think it is Bruce.
Bruce?
Yeah, I think it's Bruce.
Good memory. And
I've been on the
trivia.
backlot tour
Yeah.
a few times.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Love
I know
some
my Universal trivia.
Oh man.
Also, how creepy to... I don't know, like, I think it's cool, but also, like, someone to come to my party and perform for me. Like, that's the beginning of a horror movie as well.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that whole night, that's a whole other podcast, the stuff that happened at that part. And it's nothing crazy. It was just, like, I mean, we've all been in LA for a while where, there's certain times where you're just like, this is so funny. It's just so beyond ridiculous that it's funny. And that was one of those nights where there was just so much that happened that, like, it was just a ridiculous party. But I didn't like the idea that they, like, still had that tag. I mean, not that still, like, that, why wouldn't you just say what the house was?
I think with Instagram, especially, like, that you can just kind of create a label at, like, any kind of...
So whoever lived there maybe created the label.
Or even someone who, like, just visited.
Right. That makes sense.
Like, if I like have my location services on and I like say like Fart Knocker's house right here, like then that's Fart Knocker's house,
This could be fun. The good thing to know.
Fart Knocker's
house. Little Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yes, good.
I could tell you another story.
We want all of them.
Yes,
I think this will be I'm trying to think. This might be a good closer as far as, like, not saying that this is gonna not to say it ending the podcast, but as far as my weird, very, like, I feel like my stories about this type of thing are not like these fully like they're just kind of these little tidbits, these little bites that sort of happen where I'm like, oh, that's weird. That was weird. Like, you know, it's nothing like.
So this is This is your headliner?
Yeah. This is the one. I'm like looking at my set list here, and this is
this is the one you've been waiting for.
Yeah. But this is more recent, and it's my son that did this, so this is pretty cool because maybe he's got a little bit of what I have. I don't know. And again, I don't really know what I'm not saying that I don't know what I have, but mentioning that our house where we live in, I've never felt anything strange or weird. I actually think it has really nice, happy vibes here. But the man who lived here, he was a writer, and his office is still kind of intact in the room. We left it. We just like there's tons of places where scripts would go, like shelving that and you can see like there's a lamp still hanging where I'm assuming his desk probably went under that lamp, and there's still a drawer that has candies in it from like the 80s, and I just love it. And we just leave it because I think it's super cool, and so does Jake, and we're like, this is just a cool thing, so we left it there to kind of honor him, and I don't know, just kind of neat. And then I was showing a neighbor was visiting, and I was showing her the place, and she found some photos that had been like hidden in the drawer that we didn't know were there. And I'm like, whoa, it's so cool. So we brought the photos into the main part of the house, and we were like, that's so wild. Like, it's just like, who knows who I don't know much about this man, although I did get that seminar across the street.
Yeah, you did.
But then, so the photos were out, and I don't know if that had anything to do with what was happening. But later that night, we turned off all the lights in the main part of the house, and my husband and my son Mikey and I we're in the playroom with Mikey, and we're just playing, kind of getting ready to go to bed. And then Mikey walks out into the main living room, and it's totally dark in there. And this is before he could say full sentences. And he had just turned 2. Maybe he was like, maybe 2 in a few months. And we hear him going, uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. And at first we're laughing because we're like, this is so funny. He won't stop saying uh-oh. And it was going on for a long time, but we thought it was really cute. And he's going, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. And then so finally I was like, Mikey, what's going on? And he goes, the man. And I was like, oh, okay. And he stood in the doorway, and he put his hands up high and then kind of to his sides, and he touched his toes. And then he was like, the man. And then he kept saying, uh-oh. It wasn't like... And we were just like, oh my gosh, and I got total chills. And I wondered if it was because the photos were in that room. I don't know.
Right.
But it was pretty weird, and just we were like, okay, cool. And then I put the photos in the piano bench, and I don't know, I probably should return them into the actual where they
just let him hang out in his office.
Probably should put them there. But that was like just a kind of weird thing that happened, and we were like, that's pretty crazy. And he says he saw a man. I don't know, but he was too, like, you couldn't be like, what did the man look like? He wasn't saying big words or anything. And I also wanted to be like careful that I didn't want him to be conscious of like, oh, this is cool. Like, if we think it's cool, would he try to do that again or make it up, or like, so we kind of just let it go. And I didn't talk about that moment around him because I didn't want him to like pick up on, oh, that was a thing that I thought was cool. So about a few months later, we were at my mom and dad's house in Pennsylvania, and in my brother's room there is a shadow box frame of my grandpa's uniform from World War II, and a folded flag, and a black and white photo of my grandpa. It's like, nicely put together. And my grandpa lived to be in his 80s. He didn't die in the war or anything, but it's just kind of a memory of his service. And so it's cool, and it's just in the room, and I never thought too much about it. And I hear Mikey he's in the room, and he's going, uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. And my cousins were there, and they were like, he was doing this earlier. And my mom walked in, and she goes, he was doing that yesterday. He was staring at the picture, and he was doing that. And I was like, whoa.
What?
And so I just picked him up and I explained that this is Pop-Up and that's a picture of him when he was younger, and showed him more pictures of Pop-Up fishing, and that's him there when he was older, and kind of just like, and I said, we love Pop-Up, and it was like a really wild thing that I don't know what he was picking up on.
Right.
But the fact that my cousins had heard him doing it earlier that day, my mom had heard him doing it the day before, kind of talking or something to this photo, I don't know, to the World War II memorabilia.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know what that was. I have no idea.
Also, why say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's so, and like not freaking out, but definitely being like, oh, something's going on. Like, that's so interesting. Like, where does Mikey get the vibe that like, oh, what I'm seeing, whatever's happening is not, how do I put it? Like, not in our world.
Maybe,
like, is Mikey aware of like, something's a little different from I don't know. That's so wild.
I was always interested in like children, because they do say that kids can pick up on things, whether they were in whatever world more recently or what. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But and I love the stories of like past lives and kids who are still like stuck in their old life. Those
cool.
are crazy, and like kind of like when you compare, like you look at those and you're like, okay, there's no way that little 4-year-old would know about the painting of his sister in the attic in Ohio when he lives in, like, there's like no way.
Right.
But anyway, I was always curious when I like, if I have a kid, is he going to be attached to his old life or something like that? I don't know, but I and I also don't want to like feed him any info, because kids are so smart and they can definitely pick up on stuff. But Mikey seems very present and all of that, but this was a pretty cool thing that he did, and I don't know, makes me wonder what else kids see.
Yes.
We don't want to know. We really don't.
But I kind of do.
We kind of want to know.
Yeah, a little bit, but also a little scary.
It's like when you see like a dog or a cat like looking at something, you're like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What's in the corner right now? Because even if it's a spider, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok this week. I'm such a TikTok nerd. And it was this person being like, oh, my dog comes to visit me. And it was like a big orb that like comes through on like, their security cameras that's in their living room. And then they're like, you can see the cat. The cat is like kind of like standing on its back legs, like how they do that little prairie dog thing sometimes, and it's like looking at something, and then they like zoom in, and it really did look like a dog's face.
Wow.
Like the orb, when the orb was zoomed in on.
That's cool.
Very, and they're like, yeah, he came to visit because he's always been around and he always will be around. And the cat's like, what the fuck? I thought I got rid of you. Why are you here?
I thought you were gone, man.
I'm the head honcho now, dude. Get out of here.
Wow. Yeah. I've heard of like pet psychics, and I've always been kind of curious to do that for my dog, because she's a rescue and I kind of want to know about her life. But I'm also like,
you should. Marcy's done it, and it seems pretty fun.
It was wild. Yeah, I did it recently, and some of the things were just so specific to. I have 3 cats. That I got after my cat that I was obsessed with died like young and tragically at the beginning of the pandemic.
I'm sorry. And
so thank you. It was we all love and miss Bo. And he said that I will never find another like him again. That was it. He was like, what we had is special and you will never have it for the rest of your life. And I was like, oh, that sounds like him. But like all 3 of the cats and their little personalities are very different. And the psychic, and I don't, like, people, listeners have like said that like I don't post about them very much. I think it's because I'm protecting myself from being too, I don't know, like obviously I'm obsessed with them. They live in my house, but I was so into Bo and like really had like such an intense relationship with him. So I feel like I don't put as much out there about these cats, even though I love them. But so she really knew their personalities so well, and like actually was trying to talk to the littlest one, Honey, about being just a little less afraid because she's too scared. She won't let me touch her. I mean, I can sometimes, but she like runs from me still. And it's been over 2 years. So.
Wow.
But she was like, I'll talk to her. And after that, I did notice she got a little warmer to me.
No way.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, just funny that Bo was like, "Yeah, you'll never this thing
You're
we
never
had.
getting that again.
Good luck, dude. You have other animals, but it won't be like this." And I was like, "It's true.
Oh, Bo.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Bo."
Have you gone to psychics and stuff, Kate?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think a few times. One time I was always a little too scared, to be honest. And then I was at a party and it was like the party kept going and the host was like, "You guys, I ordered pizza and a psychic." And the psychic showed up along with the pizza, separate again. Oh my gosh, this is our movie we're talking
pizza.
about.
Yes.
Psychic pizza.
Paranormal pizza.
That's good too.
Paranormal pizza.
And I was like a little nervous, and I was like, I'm always a little afraid. I don't want to know bad things. I don't want to know things that are gonna freak me out, or I don't want anything in my brain that's gonna make me scared of things in the future. And she said, no, she's only gonna it's not like that. She's like, you'll just feel like happy and excited, and she'll tell you things that are interesting, but it won't be like doom and gloom. And I was like, okay. So I just met, everyone was getting like 10 minutes with her, and in the 10 minutes, it was just enough for me to go like, I think there's something with this. I think this lady is real. Like, she does know some stuff.
Cool.
And it was strange because she had asked me, she said, I had just bought white shoes that day and I wasn't wearing them, and she said Lucy wants me to ask you about the white shoes. And I was like, oh, what? I just bought white shoes today, which is also not a color shoe that I normally I get. It was like a fancy shoe.
Right.
I mean, I guess white shoes are pretty common, but not for me. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's weird. And then I was like, Lucy. And then she was like, Lucille Ball, and that's my like ultimate favorite everything. I know so much about Lucy. And how would this woman know? I don't know. So I thought, okay, that's pretty crazy. So I said, it's enough for me to someday go to her. And then, I find that like in times of real need, it's like that's when I want to know more. And so after a bad, sad breakup, I thought, okay, I'm going to go to that lady who told me about my white shoes. And so I went to her, and for a while I was like, okay, I don't know. I'm not sure. And then she tapped in hard and said that my grandma was there and was just saying things that there was no way, if there was something that this lady had Googled, there was just no way she could have Googled the thing she was telling me. It was impossible. It was really personal stuff about our family, about a painting on the wall that she said to me that your grandma wishes that you painted more daisies. And at first I was like, that doesn't really strike me as like anything. And then I told my mom that, and my mom was like, Katie, the picture of the daisies you painted for your grandma that was always on her bedroom wall, and now it's on my bedroom wall. That was like my first watercolor I ever did. And I was like, whoa. But there were a lot of other whoas within that session.
Yes.
She told me a lot about my cousin. So I had to call my cousin and be like, hey, my grandma wants to tell you a few things, and like I know this might sound crazy, and then he starts tripping out because he was like stuff that I didn't understand, that he was like, what? And so I had a great experience, I would say. And I don't know, I probably, I don't know why I don't do it more. That was almost 10 years ago probably, but but it's just, I feel maybe I'm a little bit scared of it still, but it's also very cool. Have both? So I'm sure you talked about it on the podcast, but.
So, Kate, I did this, like past lives, but also, what would you call it?
Yeah, it's a past life reading.
Past life reading. Lucille Ball visited me too.
Did you go to the same lady?
I grew up loving her.
I'm just wondering if that's the lady's like, Lucy. No.
Yeah, she is like, okay, comedy
totally.
ladies. Lucy?
Yeah, good guess. Yeah, exactly. But no way. So wait, what happened? What happened there? Like,
so she like her name's Caroline Swift. and she's awesome. And we've had a couple of friends for me who went before, and they're like, she's really great. She really nails stuff.
Guiding
and she gives
circle,
you like
guiding
past
circle,
lives,
guys. Yeah,
guiding circle, and she does like past lives, but also will like connect with people, do all of that stuff. And so for like the first 10 minutes, she has a better term than I'm gonna say, but like kind of gets into it and just like has you list things. She just says stuff and you write it down, and then when she comes back, she'll be like, okay, like let's go through what I said and you can ask me questions, and then I'll tap in even further. And she at one point we were going on a run of stuff that like my dad and I really both enjoy. Like there were a couple of things that hit where I was like, oh my God, my dad and I, oh my dad and I. And then one was Lucy. She's like, there's a Lucy. And I was like, oh yeah, like my dad and I love Lucy. Like it was a big part of what we would do and watch together. And then she like tapped in and she's like, okay, Lucy's here and is saying that you should be in television.
That's
and stuff.
so
And I was
cool.
like, all right, dude.
I'm just picturing like Lucille Ball like somewhere in this other like because she's like a real like tough, strong woman, and she's like, oh, I'm getting another
Just
comedy girl calling me. Hang on 1 second, I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll be right back. Like just smoking and just
These comedy girls are taking all my time.
What I think is so funny about this particular person that we've both seen is that, like, she told me nothing like that.
Wow.
Nothing like that at all. She told me I was going to be a triangle next. So, like,
Triangle?
She was like, you're done with Earth. This is your last life.
way.
She's like, you are probably, maybe you'll go to another, like, solar system. Maybe you play around with, like, shape forms. I was like, what does that mean? She's like, like a triangle or a circle.
You gotta be a triangle.
So I was like, wow, okay. So she's not giving people just the same thing over and over is what I'm saying.
I mean, very different stories from that same woman. Wow. I've never
Very different.
I've never heard of someone being told they're going to be a triangle in their next life.
Yeah. Also, I predate humans too, is what she said.
You were like a dinosaur or something.
Well, I was from Venus.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so you've had a lot of lives.
Yeah, that's why she's like,
my
I'm
goodness.
done with the human form. So I'm moving on now.
Wow.
Triangle.
Which I think could be scary for
Bermuda Triangle.
Hell yeah, become the Bermuda Triangle. I'm gonna suck up so many sailors.
Suck up some stuff, dude.
But I think that could seem scary to be like, this is it. Like, after this, you're done. But I was like, I kind of love that because I've often said, I'm over this.
Wow.
You've gotten to other past lives, people, and it's like you've had really hard lives.
Well, just that, like, I feel that my soul is a little frustrated that I keep coming back the same way.
Wow. Do you know?
So
I'm just curious. Do they say, oh, like, do they give you enough information that you could look up who you were, or not really?
I've not gotten anything like that deep. It's mostly been a little more broad. Like I couldn't tell you what life I was in before this one, but they've both said, like, you've only been female, like you've only like, and that's always been an annoyance to me.
You're like,
because I couldn't do what I wanted as a woman. So
up next, triangle.
Well, and that's
triangle.
And both of them had said, like, in this life, you're gonna figure it out and get do life the way you want. And I think it's
and then move on.
Yeah, like, this is of all the times in human history for women to be able to live the life they want to, this is the best chance we got now.
Wow. Yeah.
Whoa.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
It's never been better for sure.
Yeah.
I guess there are like ancient civilizations that were probably like much more maternal, matriarchal at least.
Yes.
But, there's been a couple thousand years of tough stuff for us,
And you've always been a woman each time.
Just, they were like, you even took breaks. She played around with like animals and stuff, just being like, I need to take a break from this shit.
Wow. Wow. That's so wild. I've never really thought about like being other things on other planets or,
It never occurred to me until that. And I was like, huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess I could go hang out and be something else for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Why not?
Just to experience it, right? Like, I think we think of life and death as so like final, or that like it's sad when it's done, or like, oh, like, like when you think about the life cycle of a fly, it's only a couple weeks, right? So like, and to be like, oh, you killed the thing and that's sad, but that's just the experience of it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Not to say that it can't have its own trauma, like the guy in the house who definitely like certainly wanted to share it with you. That's why he let you feel it, I assume. But to be like, that was just an experience I had too. It doesn't like sum up the entirety of the soul.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
Marcy.
This just got so deep.
I often think of that too when people have like, I've had, as we get older, we'll experience it more and more, where we'll be there for the end of people's lives, and whether that be like, just like, oh, I should have called more, the guilt that people feel around that. And I'm like, you can't sum up, like, that does not define the whole life you've spent with someone, or the connection that you can't, like, people get really fixated because that's what that's what impacted them the most, as the person they love was leaving. But it's like, that's not the lasting effect for the whole story. That's not what the takeaway is,
This is really so true. As you're saying this, I feel so calm.
I think that's probably why I think about it sometimes, to be like, this isn't scary. Like, this is just an experience, and it can be hard, but that doesn't, it's really easy to want to categorize as good, bad, happy, sad.
Yeah.
But like, it's just the experience of it.
Right.
Because all ghost stories are kind of just, they start off a little sad if you think about it, because somebody died.
And then I'm curious your thoughts, and again, I'm sure you've probably mentioned this before, but do you feel that when there are ghosts that are hanging out, are they kind of stuck? Are they, like, what I mean? Is it a spirit or an essence of a person that wants to go to be something else,
I mean, also curious, Betsy, how you feel about it, but I think my thoughts have evolved over the years about it.
Yeah, it feels almost like, depending on the story and the situation, like sometimes it really, like, if you're listening, you're like, oh, that feels like that spirit is trapped and is trying to get out. But then sometimes it's like, I don't know, it could be a whole, like, it could be time travel.
Yeah.
That's, like, and I don't know. It really, like, it's always different depending on whatever, to me. I'm just like
I said, it's been evolving for me. And this is something I like in therapy this weekend. Like, I do Sunday therapy, guys. I had this moment where I was like, I don't know that this has been what's bothering me. And it's just kind of occurring to me in this moment that maybe this is affecting me in a specific way, or that it's been like underlying. Yes. And how am I going to tether this to the thought is that I think that a part of your brain can be fixated on something and you don't even know it. And I think the same thing with spirit. That there can be a part of your spirit that is working something out, but that doesn't mean the whole spirit is there.
Yeah, because otherwise you feel really bad that this, like, this spirit is stuck in, whatever, not as a fully formed thing, but maybe,
like how in your dreams you work things out.
Right.
That in your waking life, you don't even know that you're thinking of, right? You work out problems.
Right.
And I think it could be a little like that.
Whoa, I like that. Marcy.
It's just like trying to like, settle some unrest within yourself, but it's not the whole of you. Like, like, so it's not constant suffering about the time that you were shot in the stomach in your garage, but that there is a part of that person that maybe isn't like emotionally healed from it, but they're still not there.
Right.
That's not them. That's just part of it.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I'd like to think that, at least, because who wants to think that you're just like stuck in your stupid house that's great, but also like, like there's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a lot to think about.
Also, if we're
I know
electricity,
every episode we record, I'm just like, whoa, man.
I have
don't know.
I'm not actually smart enough to say this, but let's just think about like what electricity is. And is there a beginning and an ending of electricity? Well, I guess so, and sort of, because like there's a power grid and then it's not connected to another thing. Whatever. My point is that it's all one thing, and I think so are we. Mm-hmm. Like and we're electricity too, and it's all like one thing and also all individual. So like to try to like put it into like a category or a box, or to say that it's like, I don't know that that's possible. I think we can only think of it that way because that's how we experience life.
Yeah.
But I do think it's kind of like bigger and smaller than all of it, and it's beyond our comprehension.
And also, just bringing it back to what you were saying earlier and how you pick up on people's feelings, that is very much like electricity, where it's like you knew your coworker needed to go for a walk, like that's definitely just picking up the energy.
Yeah, like those little balls, the little electricity balls,
like sharper end.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's no glass around. It's just we're all experiencing it. We're just all
there,
getting zapped all
My
the time.
hair is constantly staticky, man.
Oh yeah, I thought you were styling it that way.
Nope, just getting zapped all the time.
Well, it looks great.
Thank you.
It's very funny though to be like, I both want ghosts to be scary and comforting to me.
Yes. Yeah.
I think
I guess they can be.
Yeah, I think they can. I don't know. Like, I feel like growing up watching Unsolved Mysteries, the 80s, 90s version of it, like there were definitely like scary ghosts out there, But
yes.
I don't know. I think that they can just be not scary or anything, just there,
Yeah.
Just there and hanging out and getting scared by us.
Doing their thing. Yeah.
Just doing their thing.
Well, do you have time now to listen to a listener story with us?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to pull it up.
Nice.
Hey, Marcy and Betsy. I am a longtime listener and second-time contributor, and I'm sending you this ghost story from about 15 years ago. Okay, here goes. So, I was working as an ambassador of Aloha at a hotel, and basically what the job entailed was guests would check in, and then you would greet them with a lei and like cold juice and a cold towel, and that was kind of like how they started their vacation. And the service went from about 7 in the morning to maybe like 9 or 10 at night. For people who checked in between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. or whatever, there wasn't that service, and like every once in a while somebody in the front desk might do that for people, but pretty much there weren't too many check-ins, and so you never got that. The story starts with within our group of people who worked within in this department. Sorry, I'm like a little drunk. There was a couple of people who had been at the hotel for a very long time, and one of the people, I'm going to change names, call him John. He had worked for probably, I think, for at least 10 years before, maybe longer, in a capacity as a bellhop or something like that. And he was in the department that we were all in because I think he had cancer at the time, and he wasn't working as much. So the one thing about this guy was like he really loved his job, and he was always like so invested in everything for like a position that's only about like giving people like juice and Lay's. Like he would be there before work, like checking the reservations or the check-ins for the day, and like just cared so deeply. So anyhow, sadly, his cancer came back really heavily and he passed away. And several months afterwards, I remember we had a picture of him in our station above where we worked. So the actual story starts with one night, guests they checked in really, really late. They checked in like somewhere in the like, I don't know, like 3 to 4 o'clock hour. And at that time, like there's one person working at the front desk, and there's a back room. And so like people will get checked in, and the person who's working goes into the back room and like isn't in the front, can't see anything. So these guests were checked in very, very late at night. And front desk person went back into the office, and they went to the rooms, supposedly. The next morning they came down and they asked the people who were working that morning at the front desk about, the man who helped him last night. And the front desk people were like, oh, what are you talking about? And they said, we checked in so late, but we were so surprised after we checked in. There was a guy who gave us juice and like Lay's and cold towels, and it was such a nice end to our journey, and we were really grateful for that and never expected it at such a late hour. And the front desk people were like super perplexed because they knew that service isn't offered at that time. So they kind of asked a little bit further and were like, oh, what did he look like and all of that. And so these guests described this Ambassador John, who had passed away, like really to a T. And so they brought the guests over to our station where we had the picture, and they asked like, oh, is this him? And they were like, yeah, that's him. And they didn't want to like ruin their vacations. They were like, oh yeah, it's like John, like whatever. But then they like told everyone, and we were like, fuck, holy shit, like you can't make that up. And then really fast, one more story about him. So the other part of the hotel it's part of a group of hotels across this like neighborhood, and like everybody's within the same union, and so there are union leaders who travel between hotels. And so this one union leader came over like sometime after that story happened, and ended up at the hotel and had not been aware that John had passed. And so he ended up coming to the hotel and like waiting for an elevator somewhere where there weren't people. And what we heard was that he saw John, and John walked up to him and was like, oh, hey, like, Pila, how's it going? And they got into an elevator together, and like, we're just talking story, like nothing. And got out and like said goodbye, and we're like, okay, see you around, whatever. And then like the union person like went on his way and like ended up talking story with somebody right away. It was like, oh, I just saw John, like I'm so happy to see him doing well, like I heard he was sick. And they were like, John died, like what are you talking about? And yeah, so he at least came by twice that were known about amongst people who worked at that time. But it was a special and a beautiful, thing, because he just was a really good person who cared deeply about that place, and I guess didn't stop caring. So anyhow, I love the podcast. You guys are amazing, and thank you for doing what you do. I hope you enjoy.
John.
Wow.
Full body chills.
What?
Yeah.
What a cool story. Both of those. Oh my God.
Yeah. Wow. Yes.
Also, like they said, like maybe plenty of other people could have stories about John. You just don't know because they didn't tell, employees who knew him.
John fully works there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's still working there.
That should be season 3 of White Lotus.
I was thinking that. I was like, this is White Lotus, right? Is this a... wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That is just... I mean, it's those types of stories that I, like... I love, like, when it's, like... I guess this is my question, and maybe we've all then seen ghosts, because if they appear as a whole human, how would we know like if that wasn't a ghost or not, you know?
And they're giving you juice. If they're giving you juice.
That's nuts. Yes, that's it. Where it's like, whoa.
I've heard other stories. One other story that I can think of, a ghost story where it was someone just assumed that it was a person that worked at a hotel, actually, and the room service came up, and then the room service people were like, "We're so sorry for the delay," and the person was like, "Oh no, I just got it. It's here. I have my food," and so it's like, and then they were like, "Oh," and they described the person that delivered it, and it was not a person. They were familiar with this ghost, I guess, but it's like it's amazing to me that they would be able to actually just like pick up actual things and cook the food or bring the juice or get the towel.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you're like, is that a full like time slip? Did those people like slip into a different timeline where John was still around and could get food to them? Like,
oh,
whoa,
interesting. That's a cool way to look at it. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, right.
I guess either are just as equally hard to like figure out how the mechanics and the physics of it work. I don't know, but to be like, but how did the thing without a body bring me juice for my body? Like, that's the
right.
Pretty.
Oh man, now every hotel I go to, I'm gonna be like, "Are you real?"
Every waiter, I'm gonna be like,
or a ghost?
Are you a ghost or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna start poking them. Are you a ghost or what?
Wow. I love that story. I also appreciate that she said she was a little drunk, and I will say it was very eloquently told. So
yes,
absolutely. Everyone take note that if you are gonna send in a note or a voice memo drunk, like be as like, you know, as
put together,
as great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very well done.
It was enunciated. Yeah. It was a clear thought process. There was only one little pause.
Yeah. 8+, I say.
Absolutely.
Yes, very well done.
I'm stone cold sober right now and actually podcasting, and I have a hard time stringing my thoughts together for sure.
Me too.
It's so hard.
Every day.
Yes.
The pandemic has made coherence so much more elusive to me.
Yeah.
I had a Zoom earlier, and I said to the person, "You just are able to say your words a lot better than I
am." I know. It's really rough to, like, as a writer, to be like, I gotta look up every fucking word. I gotta really do. I know almost what the word I'm looking for is, but I gotta look them all up.
Yeah.
Man.
It's tough.
Well, I love that. I mean, I'm assuming, did she say that she was in Hawaii? Or I'm just assuming it because of the aloha welcome and all of that.
Also,
yeah, I was assuming.
The amount of birds I heard in the background, too.
Those were Hawaiian birds for sure, right?
Those, yeah.
Absolutely Hawaiian birds.
Didn't that sound like paradise that she was in?
I think that Hawaii is like a very magical, spiritual place that holds a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I think when I first, growing up, I had never been to Hawaii, and I thought, oh, it's just like, cheesy luau's, and, like I didn't understand, like a little hula doll that you put on your car. And then you get there, and it's like, oh, this is a magical, beautiful, like it is spiritual in every way. So I understand that.
Yes.
I can see why John wanted to hang out there.
Yeah, it's a very sacred place. I would say, like, if you want to be a shitty asshole on the beach, go do that in Florida. But you should have some reverence for Hawaii if you're going to make the trip all the way out there.
Yeah, you got to honor it. Don't take the rocks home. You got to leave them there.
Don't take the rocks.
Yeah, do not. We just learned that from Matt.
Yeah.
One of our friends, Matt, who's from Maui, and he was like, do not take the rocks from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it how you found it. Boy Scout rules, right?
Yes.
Also good rules for
leave it how you found it. Help an old lady across the street, man.
Yeah. don't be dicks, right?
Don't be dicks.
Oh man, this has been so much fun. You had so many great stories for us.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for listening to my stories. Like I said, they're like not really fully formed, they're just like little weird, cool things that I think have happened in my life.
Yes.
But I hope they keep happening.
They're so cool.
Yeah, we're hungry for more.
Yeah, keep us updated with Mikey and yourself of if anything else
I will
happens.
definitely let you know.
You got to. We love it.
Uh-oh.
What? Uh-oh. It's like, what is that ghost? Is that ghost falling down over and over?
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Doing some like...
That would be awesome.
Yeah, doing some like physical comedy to entertain. It's like, that's what I assume. Yeah. Well, tell everyone if there's anything you want people to be watching or where to find you.
Oh.
Tell our listeners.
Well, I'm on Instagram, just my name, Kate Micucci, and check out Cabinet of Curiosities. It is kind of a bit of a paranormal kind of story. I play a woman who wants to be beautiful, and she puts all her hope in some beauty cream, and things get a little crazy. But it's a holiday episode, so 'tis the season to get scared.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
As they say, scary ghost stories, right? That's part of that song.
Oh, which story?
Yeah, and
What?
scary ghost stories and da 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 da.
Oh,
Is that in there?
Yes.
The most wonderful time of the year. Yeah.
Scary ghost. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Scary ghost.
And I've always been like,
Yeah.
well, I'm into Christmas now, I guess then.
I guess like the whole like Scrooge and isn't there a ghost in that and the ghost?
Yeah, three.
Oh,
A
yeah.
ghost, a Christmas present,
bunch of
past,
ghosts.
and yes.
Well, guys,
There we go. Tis the season.
tis the season.
Thank you
Bye.
for having me. So nice talking with
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy, and don't shit your pants.
That was a HeadGum podcast.